Welcome to the DentiMax Tip of the Week. This week's tip is going to be how to add a medical alert so you can use that in your patient information screen. We'll start first by going to one of our patients. So I'll click on my patient button up here. Here is my existing patient list, and we'll go ahead and choose Joe Frazier. I'll simply double click on his name to open up his patient information screen. And you can see we've got some medical alerts for Joe Frazier already. He's a pre-medication patient, he has arthritis, artificial heart valves, etc. We'll go ahead and click OK to clear that medical alert field, and then select the Medical Alerts tab for Joe. Here are all the options we currently have selected for him, and that is what comes across in the medical alert pop-up. If we scroll down, you can see that we do have a joint replacement option in here, but it is not specific to either a hip or a knee replacement. I have solved that issue in one way, if the doctor is interested in knowing what type of joint replacement Joe had, by adding knee replacement to the alert section in the front page of his patient information. However, we could go ahead and add joint replacement and specify if it was hip or knee to this medical section, and then instead of having to type that in, you would just have an option to click. We'll start by going over to our setup button, and in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, we've got the option to set up alert codes. We'll go ahead and click on Set Up Alert Codes, and here's our existing list of medical alerts. As you can see, the medical alerts generally come alphabetically. However, I just want to point out that they're actually alphabetized based on the code for that medical alert that the code represents. So if you were going to add an allergy into this section, you may want to keep it in line with how the other allergy codes are in here so that it shows up in the same place in that listing when you go to choose it. If we scroll down through our list, you'll be able to see we've got joint replacement there. And as I said, we want to go ahead and add a joint replacement option for a knee replacement. So in my options menu, I will select a new alert. And this is where we're going to add that code in that's going to represent our actual medical alert. I'm going to go ahead and title this J for joint and then the word knee. The name of this medical alert entry is going to be joint replacement. Then I'll go ahead and tag on the word knee here. So our description, once again, is going to be the same in this situation, although you can expand upon the actual medical alert in the description section if you'd like. Now that I've added what I need to, I'll go ahead and click Save Changes. You can see now we have the option for joint replacement for a knee. We'll close out of this screen and get back to Joe's patient information screen. Now, certain changes in the system, you'll want to close out of the screen in which it's going to occur so that you can, in essence, refresh that screen and give the computer a moment to add that option into this section. So we'll close out and then just double click back on Joe and go right back in. We'll go to his Medical Alerts tab, scroll down a bit, and you'll be able to see now that we've got joint replacement specified for a knee replacement. And I can go ahead and check that box and uncheck our generic joint replacement and save my changes. As you saw, we chose that medical alert for Joe, but now it's in there for any other patient to use as well. I hope this week's tip of the week was helpful, and as always, if you have any further questions, feel free to contact DentiMax at 1-800-704-8494. Thank you.